I used to go lay down on the freeway by the Dumbarton Bridge. I would lay next to the on-ramp waiting for a car to run me over. And I laid there all night. A car pulled over and they saw me laying on the ground and they tried to help me. But I was so drunk I almost got in a fight with them, told them to leave me alone.
What was in my mind of wanting to die was I just wanted the pain to go away.
Frustrated, I was tired. I couldn't make any real decisions. I was depressed. And of course I was drinking a lot then. I was just trapped. I was like trapped in a barrel and I couldn't figure out a way to get out of it. The ladder's right there, climb out, but I couldn't see the ladder.
It was like pushing all of your emotions underneath the rug, and you just felt not trapped, but almost lost. Like you couldn't really share what was going on because of fear of what people would think or what people would say.
There was just a darkness that came into my brain, and I couldn't think clearly. I really thought I was a waste of space, and I decided it would be better if I wasn't there.
The thought of dying made the pain easier to go through, because obviously if you're not alive, then you don't have to think or feel or any of those things.
I was going through a divorce. I was having problems with the courts. PTSD. I had a lot of stuff going on. I was on the fire department, ambulance. Bad memories, bad dreams, staying awake most of the nights, a lot of alcohol, lots of alcohol, and depression. The stigma of needing mental health help. I was going to be off the ambulance, off the fire department. I was working for a county. I was going to lose my county job. I was going to lose the insurance that was going to pay for the health care. My life was literally over.
About 10.5 years ago, I suffered from major depression. I had a breakdown. I lost all my family. I had no family, so I isolated. I was on 36 different medications. And so it was easy to OD.
When my mother died, my father started bringing home other people that were molesting us. And my older sister and I decided to move and take my 13-year-old sister with us. It was a very scary time. As it all collided in my brain at the same time, the newness of taking care of a 13-year-old, of only being 21, having a new job, and living on my own for the first time. I would come home, isolate, not socialize, and spent an awful lot of time crying, and was not aware that that was actually called depression. I just felt that I was a mistake, and no matter what or who or where I was, I never felt whole, and I didn't feel like a part of what was going on. I felt like I was an observer to my own life.
I had a lot of emotion, a lot of anger, a lot of confusion. I had a very low self-worth, thought very little of myself. I tried to be masculine by being tough to make up for what happened to me as a child that made me feel less than a man. And so in the streets, I wanted to prove to everybody I was a man. And I got in lots of fights because of it, because I would never let nobody talk down to me.
There were issues going on at home. Unfortunately, I was brought up where you shouldn't talk about things that were going on in the home, and so I tended to keep it all inside.
Mental health stepped in, and NVCSS stepped in, and they came to my house, and they got me to go to a wellness center. And I fought it at first. I didn't want any help from anybody. But I started going and taking the right classes. It helped knowing that other people were in the same boat I was in. They were getting better, so I thought, well, maybe I could get better. Then I thought, well, what's going to happen to me? What if I get better? What's going to happen to me?
So they made a suggestion that I reach out and I find somebody. I found a therapist, I called him, and he immediately got me in. The most help is he sat and listened. No judgments, just sat and listened and asked me. He didn't give me any solutions. He asked me, what are the solutions you can find?
The biggest help came to me in my early 40s with an association called the Adult Children of Alcoholics. When I walked in the door, there was 120 other people, men and women, who related their stories, and I found out I was not the only one that had been incested. I was not the only one with an adult, with both parents being alcoholic. And I finally found somebody that understood some of my past, and I felt real for the first time.
What helped me get healthy and kind of get some stability in my life and in my head was educating myself about what I was going through, and finding my people. I went into that sweat lodge. That sweat lodge changed my life. Hearing my songs for the first time, it was something that my spirit yearned for since the day I was born. I run a 12-step program, which we had to be trained for to do, and went through the whole process of that, and I grew in a lot of that. I learned a lot of tools and resources, and answered a lot of questions. I was really confused about what was going on in my head, and kind of learning how the brain works and coping mechanisms, and how we grow and we mature as we get sober, because we were never able to mature when we were drinking and drugging.
I was meeting with someone from my church and a community center that I really trusted, and even though I was told growing up not to share what was going on, for whatever reasons, I got to the point where I had to make a decision for myself, and because I felt safe and confident to share with this person who I saw as a friend, but also like a mentor, I was able to open up and share, and that was basically my cry for help. I actually went and met with a psychiatrist and got to share and talk with her, and I was diagnosed with bipolar depression, did not take medication for it, and from the age of 15 to about 23, never took meds, and I don't believe today I'm bipolar. However, I do have depression and anxiety and suffer from PTSD, so I made the decision when I was 27 to start taking meds for myself.
If I had not felt invisible, I would not have needed to die. And the invisibility came from being treated like a mistake, believing I was a mistake. My best advice for people is to notice the people around you. The people that are hurting, show it. And if you're one that's hurting, speak it.
Once you've been there, you understand it, and you're not ready to listen to anybody being judgmental. You need the love, you need the compassion, you need the caring, and you need a willing ear that's going to listen.
That's the big issue. We want to be heard. And when people don't listen, people stop talking.
Talk to somebody. Pick up that phone. Talk to the suicide hotline. The world will not be better off if you're gone.
When we're in that state of mind, it's nothing but darkness around us. We don't see any light. And for me, it was my children, my grandmother, things that I would miss, and we can't hold it in. You have to let it out. You have to find somebody and tell them how you feel. You can't keep it inside, it'll eat you alive. You have to share.